So you thought this afternoon was just going to be gardening in lockdown, but you're wrong, because this afternoon, Ben Stevens, this is your life. Benedict Charles Stevens, you were born on Wednesday the 15th of April 1970 at 3:40 in the afternoon, weighing 7 pounds and 2 ounces at St George's Hospital, London, which is now better known as the Lanesborough Hotel. Your mother Jan, having contractions and unable to sleep, was very grateful that there was nighttime TV for the first time ever the previous night. Apollo 13 had failed and it had to reignite its rockets on the far side of the moon. The world waited to see if it would emerge on the other side working again. It did emerge, and so did you.
Right, well it ought to be recording.
Are we recording?
I've no idea, we just have to hope.
It says ready, you've got to press go.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah, you haven't started.
Well, alright, we'll see, I did start it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ben.
Happy birthday to you.
That was just a start. I guess you can see if that worked, or that we could delete it and do it again.
Well, with wet hands, thank you very much.
Well, I've got to get to my towel. Because we're in the way.
Oh, right. Yes, of course. Yes, dear. No, dear. Oh, push a button.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ben.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Gracious me. Goodness me.
Yeah.
What a lovely day.
We have no champagne, Graham, have
no
we?
champagne. Just
No.
had to drink gin flavoured water, that's all.
And,
Yeah,
it's not quite the shard, but
No.
lovely to be able to celebrate with you on your
Yeah,
birthday
great.
in this way. We're, as you can see, slightly uncomfortable with this. We're not used to doing this, but just bear with us and we'll do our best.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right, Graham.
But just thinking about things that have happened in the past, and the other day I was thinking about another holiday we had with the Grahams, with Patsy and Mike and the two Graham boys down in France, with our car and their camper van and things like that, and how we ended up on a campsite near a lake. And the lake was full of fish apparently, and the four lads, Glenn, Stephen, Paul and Ben, went off and came back with a bucket full of fish, which we then proceeded to eat. Janet started to cook it, and it smelled delicious, and lots of campers were walking past and thinking that's nice, and we enjoyed that. Anyway, the next day Ben disappeared and came back, having got a lot of orders from French people for the food, and sorry, I'm lost.
Well, you told me that Ben having said no to Ben.
Yeah, but Ben had orders, so I'd said, okay, you can go and fish then, and if you've got orders for it, and then you might make some money out of it as well. So Ben did that. We cooked the fish. Everyone seemed happy.
Yes, okay.
And then what?
I wasn't there, Graham. I wasn't there. But yes, it is a funny story, but what Graham was basically saying to me was that it showed, didn't it, Graham?
Ben's entrepreneurial flair.
Yes.
At an early age.
At a very early age, yes.
Yeah.
And Ben, I've been scratching my head to try and think of a funny story about you. But very quickly, as you know, I looked after you from a very early age. It was an absolute pleasure because you were such a sweet child. But one day, you went to nursery school with Mike, and Bill went and supposedly to pick you both up from the nursery school. When he got back, you weren't there, and I said, "Where's Ben?" And I said, "Well, where is he?" And Bill said, "Oh my God, I forgot." So he went back, and you weren't there. But unbeknown to us, you got in any old car. You just got in a car with 5 other children, and the lady did her drop-offs. And when she got to the end, she discovered she had another little boy in the back of the car. So luckily for us, it was Julia Miles who lived a couple of doors down from us, and you were returned, and all was well. So, Ben, it's been a pleasure to watch you grow up.
Definitely.
It's been absolutely wonderful watching you become the man that you've become. Wonderful husband to Alison, wonderful father to
Hello, Florence.
Ellen Florence, yes, and such a successful and I would say well-rounded human being.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Very happy birthday.
And many, many more to come.
Brilliant.
Okay, and we love you to bits, don't we?
Definitely.
We do. We love you to bits, and just have a wonderful time. And we'll all get through this horrible time. Okay. Night, night.
Hi there, bro. Apologies that we can't be with you on your 50th birthday. Something's come up. Apparently, some muppet in China has mistaken batshit for sweet and sour chicken balls, and as a result, we're all fucked. On the bright side, the weather's been marvellous. We're drinking far too much beer and wine, and we'll probably be told by Mother that we're putting on weight. No shit, Sherlock. So I thought I'd send you a little video reenacting what I was doing 50 years ago in Gower Street, and that's washing my teddy bear. Still here, slightly balder than he was, a bit thinner. He's very old now, see, logic. You know where I'm going. I just wanted to say that we've laughed, cried, fought and hugged over the years, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world. Well, I would have changed the time when you pooped in the bath, and I got the bollocking for letting you make your own ships. Swapping our meat and vegetables when supposedly no one was looking. Because you hated veg and I hated meat. Job done. Teaching you to ride a bike without stabilisers in Malta. And I ripped my shorts running alongside you, and there's another happy story. Just having a look here. Salmonella in 78. Remember that? Isolation. Oh, there's a novel idea. Making forts out of debris against the sea. That was good. 13 and 10 or so. Going up from Canterbury up to London. Across London, up to Grantham on the train by ourselves. Probably couldn't do that nowadays. Your help, love and support when I set fire to my bedroom in Rorsby. When you opened the door and saw the smoke. And said something along the lines of, "Fuck this, you're on your own." All these little snippets, and there are many more. What goes on tour stays on tour. Keller's Talk Cost Wives. Driving a McDonald's through an imaginary car through McDonald's in Marseille. That was what we're doing. You've become a very successful accountant jobby, wine taster, have a fabulous family around you. Really chuffed and proud of you. Enjoy your estate during lockdown. Keep spreading the whole lane and bruffing love. And keep smiling with those lovely little chipmunk cheeks. And bear with me, I'm just going to try and resemble a teddy bear in lockdown. Right, where were we? Oh yeah. What do you reckon, bro? Go on, Philly Phil. Happy birthday, Ben!
Happy birthday, Ben!
Holidays were spent camping in France with friends, and you lived for 2 years in Malta, based at RAF Lucca. Christmas was spent at your grandparents, Joe and Ronald Tress's house in Walmer, in the company of all of your cousins.
Happy 50th birthday, Ben! Sending you lots of love from the Hollises. And I remember when we were young, staying at Joe and Ronald's in Walmer and all the fun we had on the beach. And I have a particular memory of you when we were little, staying in Gower Street. And you were really kind because you helped me not be scared of the dark, and you were doing some shadow puppet shapes on the wall. So yes, I think that's just typical of the kind person that you are. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ben. Happy birthday to you. Happy 50th, Ben. I'm looking at the wrong camera, wrong part of the phone. Happy 50th. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. Yeah, I'm getting senile. And hope you have a lovely day. And I just can't believe you're 50. Unbelievable. And a little bit worrying because I'm not far behind you. Like 5 years or something. Is it 5 years? I don't actually know.
So old,
but,
I can't remember.
But yeah, we hope you have a wonderful time. And Ella asked me if I had any memories of our childhood, and pretty much everything is Walmer and the wonderful time we all used to have there, going on the beach, and you with your metal detector. And I think there may be a photo following with the metal detector. And I remember thinking, wow, what an amazing thing to get for Christmas, a metal detector. And what else? Playing with those little soldiers, those green soldiers. Don't you remember that? That was good. I remember my father talking to you about, Ricky talking to you about the stock market in Walmer, downstairs next to the kitchen, opposite the kitchen with the sliding door, one morning. And he still hasn't had that training session or conversation with me yet. So
Head of the game.
But yeah, have a wonderful time. Happy birthday from all of us, and
Lots of love.
Yeah, lots of love to you and the whole family, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Okay.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Hi Ben. Like most of us cousins, I think some of our fondest memories are of us together in Walmer at Ronald and Joe's house. So I've sent in a photo of us cousins together with you and Paul doing some of your demonstrating some early parenting skills, which seems to have paid dividends with your kids. So from all of us here, happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Yay!
Happy birthday, Ben. I can't believe you're 50. It's just how much I feel. I feel I'm 50. So yeah, I guess you're really only about 20, mid-20s, something like that. I can't believe it. And I think most of our memories are really around about the times we spent in Walmer with you. And actually, those are the only photographs I can find. So I just wanted to go through some of the photographs that I found and to show them to you, and to recap on some of those memories. And one of my best memories actually is of you in the pram. You were absolutely adorable. You had this wonderful wide smile, which you still got, and you had this amazing trick, which everybody admired you for, of putting your big toe and in your mouth and sucking it. And I don't suppose you still suck your toes, Ben, or anybody else's. But it was quite a fun time, because you were always smiling and a joy to have around. As I say, our memories are mostly centred around Walmer, and of course mostly Christmas. But there were times like summertime. There was that one summertime where you disappeared, which was an absolute nightmare. I expect Jan's told you about it umpteen times, but we did lose you, and you didn't get drowned, and you didn't get taken away by some horrible man. You were discovered, I think, a neighbour had taken you in, but that was a pretty scary time. Particularly as you were so gorgeous to look at. You were blonde and beautiful, and there's a sort of looks that a predator would, be looking for. And I've got a photograph of you when you are actually not that age, but sort of about 5 or 6, I think 6 probably, and it's this one here. I don't know that you can see it. I don't know whether I can show you. I'll have to send Ella the photograph separately, and she can show them to you. But there you are. Look at you, absolutely and utterly, absolutely angelic. Ha ha. And so you were one that had to be watched. And here's another picture of you. This is in Joe's bedroom at Christmas time. If you remember, well, I'm sure you remember, we always used to unpack the stocking presents in Joe's bedroom, except that, of course, it was never just stockings, was it? It was always huge boxes of presents as well. Anyway, here you are. And as you can see, you're a West Ham supporter already. There we are. And you think you had I know you had a West Ham mug as well. It was in Walmer, and I wonder what happened to that. I wonder whether you've still got it. We had most amazing Christmases, really. I mean, Walmer was Christmas, and the presents were phenomenal. Not only were there the stocking presents, there was the presents under the tree, which we were giving each other as well. And I've got a picture of a tree with those presents underneath it. They're just amazing. You can see that's Ed and John at the bottom there. And the photograph's a bit shiny, but the whole of that little hall is piled with presents. It was lovely fun for you children at the time, but a little bit profligate really. And here's another Christmassy one, which will bring back memories for you. Here, you'll know what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. Was this before or after the charades, Ben? I think it was probably after the charades, and you are being, of course, an incredible Hulk, and Joe's just tried to light the pudding, the Christmas pudding, and it hasn't lit, and she's looking very cheesed off. And here again, actually, she's even more cheesed off, and everybody else is having a jolly good laugh. You see, and she's even more cheesed off. She's looking dramatically miserable. I don't think she minded that much, but anyway, since we've got a picture of Joe, I thought we ought to have a picture of Ronald as well. And I actually found one with you in it, just one. It's the only photograph I've seen actually where Ronald looks quite good. And there's Ronald. I think that's about the best I can do in the camera. And there's you! So I've got both of you in the same picture, which is nice. Where have you gone from here? What have I missed out? I've missed something out. Oh dear, never mind. I'll come to the last one anyway. I'll come to the one I've got at the end. And this is the one I've got at the end. This is you and Paul. You've grown up and you've gone off to boarding school. And here you are, looking wise and very sensible, both of you, reading your Christmas literature. But if you zoom in and look carefully at the titles of the books, you might just be able to read them. So, a foretaste of the life to come. And And you've made a very good job of it, Ben. And you've got a delightful family. And I know Jan's very proud of you. So have a very happy birthday, happy memories, and happy birthday, Ben. Lots of love. I'm going to go and find Ricky now, and he'll do a bit too. Okay.
Hi, Ben. How are you? Starting like that reminds me of that wonderful film, The Graduate. I hope you've seen it, where somebody says, Ben, I just want you to remember one important thing in life, plastics. Now, I don't know what your important thing was, but you've obviously done very well out of it. I'm told that when we were at Walmer, I talked to you about the stock market. Now, that somewhat amazes me, and I think that must have been 1987, which was the only time I had anything to do with the stock market, very disastrously, but I did learn a lesson. I learned about dead cat bounces, and I hope I told you that. In any event, fortunately, it means that I've only got national savings. Hooray! But there we are. You've done brilliantly in your life, and we had some great times down in Walmer. I've seen Sarah's thing, which is a whole lifetime almost, so I'm not going to repeat it. But we had lots of fun. So good luck, and you've joined the grown-ups. 50, my God. And next year, I think it's going to be Kate's. So, you know, we've got a couple of oldies or semi-oldies around to join us. Okay, Ben, very happy birthday. Okay, bye.
You need to switch it on.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Glenn. Happy birthday to you.
At the age of 8, you started a boarding school at Vernon Home, Canterbury, where you would meet lifelong friend Jessica Woodward.
We've known each other for 42 years, and I remember you as a little boy, aged 8, in your grey shorts and maroon blazer of Vernon Home. I don't know how you felt being dropped off at VH for the first time then, but I know I was terrified. The ethos of the school was rather draconian. Do you remember that we were only allowed to have a bath every few days and change our underwear every third day? The only television viewing consisted mainly of Doctor Who, used to scare the shit out of me, and some production of Elizabeth I, starring an equally scary Glenda Jackson. We were once lucky enough though to watch the Henry V film, but only if we had learned off by heart and could recite the whole of Once More Unto the Breach. Do you remember the gong that called us for meals and the bell ringing that timetabled the ending of any breaks? I think the school was channeling the Sound of Music ethos. Talking of meals, did it take you as long as me to work out the bizarre finger symbols for whether you wanted seconds or only a small amount of food? Writing letters to home on a Sunday morning, only to have to take it up to the teacher at the front of the class for it to be censored. Despite all this, my abiding memories are of the friendships we made while playing British Bulldog on the front lawn and flag raiders in the grounds at the back in our spoilt boiler suits. Usually hand-me-downs from our older brothers, as casual clothes were not a thing at VH. Swimming in the pool and not noticing at all how freezing it must have been. Then there was playing endlessly in the dell and eating wild garlic and moving on to the sophistication of rolling up dried leaves and smoking them? What about naughtily crawling through a huge cement pipe that ran from the school grounds under the A2 and out the other side, only to crawl back again as we had no idea what we were meant to be doing once we got there? Health and safety was never an issue in those days. The excitement of the tuck shop at the weekend and the amazing amount you could buy for 2p. Do you remember the excitement of being given your turkey? This consisted of all our bedding and laundry wrapped up in a large towel and safety pinned together and signalled the end of term. There's no way you can forget Monk's Day. Making habits out of old scratchy brown blankets, tie rope round our middles. We were woken every couple of hours to march around the grounds in the early hours, chanting and then working in the gardens, praying a lot and eating porridge and some sort of mead. I don't think I was ever aware of the reasoning behind this bizarre event. My first impression though of you was your big smile, dimples and those wonderfully huge spectacles. The school nicknamed you Maggot and me Worm. Charming. I think it was just because our brothers were called the same, but I really have no idea. We moved up to Kent College together and then you appeared in long grey trousers and I, top to toe, in maroon. Do you remember those lovely summer days spent on the field by the pool? You have always been a businessman, and even as teenagers we were all mightily in awe of your entrepreneurial skills. Setting up the cafe on Sunday evenings, selling toasted sandwiches, crisps and cans of pop, trading in stocks and shares despite being underage, and also rumoured to have run a successful black market trade in Mayfair and Playboy. I have fond memories of estating briefly and also playing strip poker with friends at Matt's parents' house on more than one occasion. I think you were in the Spaz rugby team. Forgive me if this is wrong, but this was a great accolade and everyone would turn up to support a Spaz match. Political correctness was as absent in those days as health and safety. I loved going to your grandparents for the odd exit weekend. I thought they were so posh as they wore driving gloves in the car. Our friendship has continued since leaving school, with a holiday to Spain, where I managed to drive us the wrong way down a slip road onto the motorway and then just reverse back up. The friendship has had natural times of not meeting for a while due to busy family and working lives, and I am delighted that the friendship has gone on to include both our families. We treasure our friendship with you and Alison, Ella and Florence, and what a team you make. I was very honoured when you and Alison asked me to do a reading at your wedding, and I deeply regret that in the end was unable to due to late pregnancy issues. Having not seen you for quite a while, I also remember messaging you a few years ago asking advice for Edward about maths versus economics at uni. What came back was a 3-page handwritten letter with so much personal help and advice and news in it. So thoughtful and typical of you. We still have the letter. Since then, you and Alison have gone on to have Ed to stay in your home and follow you around your various businesses. This meant an awful lot to him and to us. Your eye for business has never been in doubt, even down to advising me years ago when I was setting up a dog business to charge £17 and not £15, as people would give me a £20 note and tell me to keep the change. You were spot on. My first impression of you, Ben, though, all those years ago at VH, with your spectacles, lovely grin, the dimples, and that lovely, lovely laugh, your kindness and humour remains the same today, my lovely friend. Happy 50th birthday. Very much look forward to celebrating with you and Alison and the girls. Cheers.
Aged 11 in 1981, you moved to the senior school, Kent College, and met your best friend, Matthew Jones.
Right. Slightly strange times. A little video message for Ben. I wish we were in different times and we could share your 50th with you, but in lieu of the fact we can't be with you on your big day or to help you celebrate, we're going to make a little video, maybe just go through some memories and just share some thoughts with you to help you celebrate.
We've got a fire going, but we won't set fire to our own house like we did it.
Like we did to your house. Last time we had a barbecue at yours, yeah. You can't keep them in a fire down, you know that. So, yeah, so we obviously met, nearly 40 years ago. Crikey, O'Reilly, doesn't that seem like a long time? First year at Kent College, obviously you were already a bit of a veteran with the boarding, the old shenanigans of being a boarder. For me, it was a massive step, obviously being away from home, and I do remember you and the other guys that had come up from Vernon Home being quite a rock actually in that first year. I don't think you quite realised how comforting it was to know that it was going to be all right. You were obviously not fazed by the idea of being away from home, but yeah, I remember that first year in lower school as it was then, meeting all the guys. It's just sort of very strong memories of that first year, and now I can't remember what that dorm was that we were in, but weird bunch of guys that we used to live with in those days. And the idea of getting used to everyone having a nickname was just sort of new to me as well. Everyone seemed to have a nickname, from sort of Fanny O'Man to Peg Leg Cook, and you obviously being called Maggot because of your brother. And very endearing memories of just spending an awful long time standing in a corridor with our hands on our heads. Not quite sure what that was all about looking back, but I'm sure it did us some good in the great scheme of things. Yeah, so we sort of got through lower school, despite the sort of the weirdos in the team. I remember, what's his name, old Skits Odegbile, kicking off all the time. A very strange time, but we had some good times as well. I remember Simon Martin introducing us to video games, Donkey Kong, and playing Space Invaders on the ZX Spectrum and that sort of thing. It was good times before we moved up to Guildford House in our third year. I think we shared the same dorm as well in the third year. Again, I was trying to think of some endearing memories of time in the third year, but the only things that came to mind were setting fire to a locker with some magnesium ribbon and trying to work out how we were going to explain the fact that it had burnt through the entire locker and the contents of whoever's locker it was. Yeah, those years sort of blurred into one, really. I'm a bit old now. The other endearing memory I have was old Peter Wallace, the complete psycho Wallace, who basically turned into a bit of a fence, if I remember rightly. Somehow, seemingly magically, to be being able to acquire anything we boarders wanted, and started us on our early drinking career. I remember very clearly having our kind of little, what was it, trunk? That was right. Remember, we had a little trunk with all the spirit bottles, the whiskey in the Head and Shoulders bottle, and so on. And Peter Wallace seemingly managing to miraculously acquire large volumes of Baileys. Some reason we got into Baileys drinking quite a lot that period.
Nothing has changed much.
Still enjoy a good Baileys. So yeah, as we grew up, puberty was a tough time, and it was nice to go through it together. I remember quite vividly being able to share things with you and Gareth and the Blisses and so on. And yeah, it was a good time growing up with the girls. They were a good bunch of girls as well, obviously. There was Lucy and Sarah and Jessica and Karen and so on and so forth. And I think we formed a really good group. It was very nice to see everybody, to grow up together through those difficult times of puberty, until we sort of came out of that into our formative years in the sixth form. Again, loads of really clear memories of the sixth form, of really getting the hang of drinking and getting into trouble, particularly at parties. We seem to spend a lot of time at James Allen's house, at Benny Allen's house, getting drunk everywhere. At your grandparents' house in Deal, at Ronald's house, I remember that very vividly. Spending some time over there at my house, at Jessica's house, anywhere we could go really, to go and get drunk and have a good time. Driving around the countryside in your car until you somehow inadvertently managed to stack it, I remember. Having a nasty accident, but we all survived. We got through our sixth form, really into our formative years, and it was at that point it obviously became absolutely clear that you were going to be a very successful businessman, being the first person to, I think, start buying shares at a very early age, starting understanding the business world before any of us even knew what the business world was. I think you remember running the cafe on a Sunday night, making loads of money already at a very early age. which sort of set you up for your you know, for the rest of your career, going on to university, and you know, going on to Warwick. I remember me going to London. I remember meeting up a few times, but yeah, over the time at Kent College, it was you know, it was great to know you. You were an absolute rock and a stalwart of a friend throughout those years. I think we shared some great times together. We had some shitty times and some scary times, but overall, it was good times. And actually, you know, if it wasn't for you, I don't think I'd be where I am now with Ellis. I remember very clearly Alexandra Itzo and Ellis and you and me, and you were the consummate wingman, helping me and aiding me in achieving my goal of getting off with this new blonde Dutch girl. I know you had to take a bit of a hit on that one, but you know, at the time, I've never looked back, and I can't ever thank you enough for that, to helping me out with that and getting me through that. So yeah, interesting times. I'm just thinking back about you know, our early days at Kent College. I still quite understand thinking of nicknames. Whether you know, you were quite involved in the sort of spaz leagues and things, but it was, I could imagine the terminology now, just the sort of terminology we just wouldn't use, and how brutal we were to each other. But yet it sort of made us stronger, and we came out you know, stronger and fitter and more prepared for the outside world, I think. And I think that's borne us all in good stead, particularly with you being so successful in your career and meeting Alison, and you know, just turning out to be a damn fine chap. So all it leaves me to say is happy 50th birthday, congratulations.
Happy birthday.
And I look forward to catching up with you as soon as we're able to meet up again. So cheers. Happy 50th.
Happy birthday, happy 50th from all of us here, including Miffy. Bye.
Having excelled at maths, physics and geography at A-level, you secure a place at Warwick University to study management sciences.
Hi Ben, Blue here, just getting in contact to wish you a very, very happy 50th birthday. Oh my goodness, how have we got to this age? I can't believe it. I don't know if you're anything like me. My mind still feels like I'm 20-something-year-old. My body and my memory beg to differ. Can you believe it was only 22... no, it wasn't 32 years ago that we met at the University of Warwick. Where's the time gone? We've now both got families. We've been married for so many years. Can't believe it. I think the last time, thinking about this, that I celebrated a birthday with you must have been your 21st birthday, where you were made, if I remember rightly, to drink the top shelf of the bar, which ended up with a yellow or green chartreuse. And I just remember that you could not place one foot in front of the other. You were walking like one of the Thunderbirds puppets, but you were so giggly with it as well, and always had a big smile on your face. Hopefully the years have been kind to you. It's been great seeing all the pictures on Facebook. I've got a picture here, I don't know if you can see it, of us all celebrating someone's birthday or Christmas or something. I don't know whose it was. But just to let you know, I found some other photos which I might just post on Facebook on your birthday. Anyway, it would be lovely to catch up with you after all this rigmarole is over, in person, to have a real chinwag and catch up. Have a great day, lots of love, and speak to you soon. Mwah.
Hey Ben, how you doing? Nick here from sunny Adelaide, Australia. How you doing? I'm here to give you a simple message. Happy 50th birthday, you old bastard. I can say that. I'm still 49, as you know. Yeah, it's a great idea of Arson's to get this together. She asked me for some embarrassing stories about you. You're very fortunate. Those 3 years in university were a bit of a blur for me, so you're safe. There was one story but it's X-rated and I shan't be telling anyone about that particular incident. We had a great time. We shared a house together for 3 years, Roots, Leamington, and back on campus. It was a bit like a family, really. You know, you, Deb, me, Spiller, and Blue, and then eventually joined by Mel in the 3rd year. I found a couple of photos which I've sent across as well, so you've probably got more actually. But yeah, it was good to go through them and see what we used to look like all those years ago. I obviously looked a little bit different. To be fair, I see you on Facebook and you look exactly the bloody same. It's shocking, actually. So you're doing really well there, Ben. So that's probably enough from me. Happy 50th again. Have a fantastic day with your family. And I hope to see you soon, if not in England, maybe Australia. Take it easy, mate. Cheers.
You started working at Courtaulds at Colchester as a financial graduate, where you were lucky enough to meet your wife Alison, the commercial graduate. Apparently your eyes met over a profit and loss account and you invited Alison out for lunch. It was an underground relationship as no romance was permitted within the Courtaulds group. However, when you both purchased your first home, Manor Road Cottage, and shared the same address on the company HR records, the secret was out.
So Ben, my numbers man, I hope that you like 50 and I think that it will really suit you. Words to describe you: logical, intelligent, a brain that works in the most interesting way, sometimes a little shy and gives the best bear hugs in the world that makes everything okay but reduces the strongest of people into gibbering wrecks. A huge grin, those ridiculous dimples that appear before you're about to say something that you think is really funny, and definitely somebody who everybody wants to have on their team. I can think of a few daft things that you've done over the years, such as having a huge hangover on the day that Ella was born, and you turned up at the hospital and promptly crawled into my hospital bed to take a nap, and then the fuming midwife yelled at you and had to throw you out. Or there was the time when you were still in China and it was the day before Flo was born and I had to drive myself to Addenbrooke's hospital, but you got there just in time, and based on the wonderful father that you have turned out to be, I think that we should just gloss over that. So in short, happy birthday with many, many more to come, which hopefully doesn't involve any form of lockdown, and I'm really looking forward to celebrating properly with you at a later date with all of our friends and family. So happy birthday.
Hi Ben, happy birthday. This is your message from me, Fiona, your old flatmate, for your This Is Your Life 50th birthday special. So exciting. So for those that don't know, Ben and I shared a flat back in the day. Ben and Alison were my first work buddies and I'm glad that we're all still friends today. We shared a flat, we shared nights in front of ER and friends. This is going to date you terribly. We shared nights out to Oasis. What else did we share? Well, we didn't really share the cooking and the cleaning, did we? I did that. And you gave me moral support in the form of the usual sort of good job, Fiona, good job. We shared a healthy disdain and ambivalence for the neighbour's cat, who, as you know, met a sticky end. So the girls asked me to come up with a story from that time, and the thing that I remember the most was we got lots of training when we worked for Bet's Tubes, and we went on these outward bound courses which were all the rage, but you and I didn't go at the same one, and I came back from mine with some funny stories and whatnot, but unfortunately, well, it wasn't funny for you, but you had an accident on yours, and if it wasn't for backpack and a branch of a tree, you might have really done yourself an injury, but you hurt your back and you got sent home early from the course, and it was my job to monitor you as you recuperated in Walgrove Road. But I was happy to report about 2 or 3 days in that you really were doing better. And how did I know? Well, you'd got up, you were sat on the sofa in your dressing gown, teletext on, told you this was going to date you, checking your stocks and shares. So I knew then that you were fine, and I always knew that big guy with a big heart was going to be a super successful businessman, and you have been, and you're a super successful family man. I'm so glad that we're all still friends and godparents to each other's children, and we're looking forward to more rugby matches and maybe even some cricket matches in glamorous locations in the years to come. Happy birthday. Sorry we can't all be with you, but hopefully we'll see you soon after lockdown. Lots of love.
There was a big change at work as the opportunity arose to purchase the packaging arm of Courtaulds, and so in 1999 Aristotubes was born, a partnership with business colleagues Jeremy and Evelyn.
Hi Ben, happy 50th birthday. I'm sorry that your plans for the day have been mucked up by the dreaded coronavirus. Anyway, hopefully you'll be able to have a nice day anyway. Alison sent me a text and asked if I could send you some memories of the occasions and adventures that we shared over the years together. I guess one of the original first scary memories was in our attempt to buy the Stevenage business from Courtaulds, and we were in the Courtaulds head office in George Street when Errol asked if we had the money to buy the business. You confidently stated that we did have the funds, despite the fact we were short by about 2 million quid. Anyway, thankfully, somehow over the next couple of weeks you managed to persuade Lloyd's TSB to lend us the money, and the deal completed after Christmas 1998. Following that, there was a bit of a celebration where the Courtaulds team was provided the champagne as part of their photocopier budget, which was very decent of them. I suppose posh restaurants and finding reasons to celebrate were a bit of a theme that flowed through our time together, and on one occasion we took the Courtaulds team, who helped us buy the business, to the Aubergine restaurant in London, and that was followed by us taking the Lloyd's TSB guys to the lunch at the Savoy Hotel, followed by an infamous visit to the American bar in the hotel that evening. Having purchased the business, we had a great first year, mainly due to your famous cookie jar accounting, which I'm confident was the reason we managed to turn the business around. It was great to work with you, and it was always uplifting that you knew exactly what you had in your cookie jars. After a couple of years, things were going far too smoothly, and as always, unexpected things tend to bite when you least expect them, and one such occasion was the 9/11 attacks in New York, and the resultant drying up of our order book, redundancies, etc. A complete nightmare that very nearly sank the business, and not a great memory, but somehow we survived. After that, we decided we needed to find a buyer to buy the business, and for some crazy reason we went to Hong Kong and China to find a buyer. We stayed in the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Hong Kong, which was very salubrious. However, in China, the hotels were rather basic, and in particular, the first night in Shenzhen, I recall we agreed that sleeping in the road would have been more comfortable than the hotel beds. Having visited what seemed like most of China, we returned to the Mandarin Oriental in Hong Kong, where you were very happy to be back, and the receptionist, who recognised you from our earlier visit, said welcome back to civilization. As a celebration of escaping from China, we had a very pleasant meal that evening on the top floor Zong's bar that overlooks Hong Kong Harbour, and to this day I still think they serve the greatest Singapore sling that I've had anywhere in the world. The following day was a crucial day, as there was an England rugby match that you wanted to watch, and for some odd reason I suggested that we go by boat to visit Aberdeen Harbour to the south of Hong Kong. All was well till we were running out of time and nearly didn't get back to watch your beloved rugby match, which would have been a disaster. Anyway, when we finally found a buyer for the business, we had more tense times, in particular persuading Essel Propack to do the deal. Initially, we needed to agree a price, and a famous moment was when we had trouble keeping straight faces when they agreed to what we wanted, and I seem to recall slightly hysterical high fives when we were alone afterwards. You may remember that David Tilley, as our solicitor to buy and sell the business, that when Essel Propack were being especially difficult in agreeing the finer points of the legal agreement, David always reminded us that Essel's negotiating technique was probably more to do with cock-up rather than conspiracy, and in the end he was proved to be correct. Having done the deal, we did of course have one more celebratory meal, which I seem to recall was at Nobu in London, and for some odd reason you asked the waiting staff about Boris Becker's earlier visit to the restaurant. Anyway, very difficult to recall all the highlights of our time together, and I suspect that you will remember many more than I do. But just to say thank you very much for all the good times and for keeping me sane during the hard times. Have a great day and a few drinks for old time's sake. Cheers, Jeremy.
Hi Ben, the big 5-0. Well, it's nothing to be scared of. I'm at the end of my 50s, and I can say looking back it's a pretty good decade. Right enough, I have been retired for most of it. Anyway, in the great book of The Life of Benedict Stevens, I fall into the Arista chapter, and I've been asked to recount a couple of stories for you today. Now, there are too many to mention, and some that I definitely can't mention in front of your family. So I'm going to focus on two things. One, the overall irony that you, our money man, never ever carried any money. And I lost count of the times he used to sidle up to me at functions and say, "Ev, got any money on you?" But what I'm really going to focus on is something very topical, women in the workplace. Because although very supportive of women in the workplace, you really did have an aversion to confrontation with what you called scary women. Now, I ban myself in that category, but I'm going to focus on two other Celtic women, namely Nicola Lowry and Breda Ryan of Boots and Yves Rocher respectively, our two largest customers. I'll never forget when you decided that we had to apply a hefty price increase to Boots prices. Even though we had a backdrop of poor service and quality, you said it was totally justified. So you decided to come with me because you thought, how hard can this selling thing be? You know, you just have to justify it. You just have to sell it the right way. So I drove you to Nottingham and sat in front of Nicola. You went into a great accountant's justification of why a hefty price increase should be applied to their prices. At the end of it, she just looked at you and said, "Ben, piss off." And so after that, I think you learned a valuable lesson that selling wasn't as easy as you thought. The other lovely lady was Breda Ryan, who came all the way from Cork to chastise us after we had had, again, bad service and poor quality. And after a particularly bruising meeting, 3.5 hours it was, I emerged exhausted and I said, "Where the hell is Ben? No one could find you. I found you in the post room, hiding behind a filing cabinet." Anyway, we scary women stick together, and I'm still in contact with both of them. And we all join in wishing you a very, very happy birthday. All the best, Ben. Cheers.
4th of September 1999, you and Alison were married at Finsbury Church in Suffolk, followed by a reception on the lawn at John and Sally's house. It was the hottest day of the year, a whopping 29 degrees, and you opted to wear and sweat profusely in a black velvet jacket.
Hi Ben, here we are, self-isolated and in lockdown or drinking more wine, whichever you want to call it. I thought I'd take this opportunity to give you a birthday wish, but first of all I would just do a bit of history. I first met you, I think, in 1994, or it could have been in 1995. Unfortunately, I had my 50th birthday in 93, but I can't really remember much about it. But anyhow, I feel that Alison made the right choice, and I personally, along with Sally, would like to wish you a very, very happy 50th birthday. Stay safe and enjoy your day.
Hello, Ben. Happy birthday to you. 50 years old. I think that's pretty good, don't you? Have a lovely day.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ben. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ben. Yay. 50, yay.
Happy birthday.
Half a century. Yay. Yay. Well done.
Hi Uncle Ben, it's Em and Pete here. We hope you're having a lovely day. We just wanted to share, I want to share one of my pet memories with you, which is when you built me an entire Lego castle for my 3rd birthday, and then I smashed it, and then you had to remake it again, and then I smashed it, and then you had to remake it again, and it took you about 6 hours to do, and it was painstaking, and I am very grateful for that. So from both of us, we hope you're having a lovely birthday and a very big happy birthday to you, Uncle Ben.
Right, I'm take 14. I can't sing, so I'm going to take it almost like a spoken poem thing. See how it turns out. Here we go. Happy birthday, Uncle Ben. I hope you're doing fine. You're busy building all your castles and turning water into wine. And all these times we spent together, filling my dad's heart with Christmas cheer. The best of times, I must admit, was when I beat your wrist when I was 16 years old. That's gotta hurt. Now 50 is no small number. Your twilight years, some might say. But you're still busy keeping yourself fit and keeping your girls at bay. But for me, you're best as a motivator of sorts. Some of your words, they stuck like glue. By that time we went running, you said, "Get up that hill, you fat fuck. Don't let your uncle beat you." Now those words, they stuck with me through and through. They made me stronger and endured throughout. I'm very happy to have met you. So happy birthday, Uncle Ben. I hope you're doing fine. Send my love to all your girls. I'll see you in time. Happy birthday, Uncle Ben. 50 years old. Can't wait to see you. No! Oh, happy birthday.
The arrival of our first daughter Ella in 2000, followed by Florence in 2004, completed our family of 4.
Hi Ben, I remember the first time I met you when you walked into the kitchen in hair lip close, grinning and clutching a Sara Lee chocolate fudge cake. Since discovering you have great tasting desserts, I've learned a few more things about you over the past years. 1. You love a multi-point list, so just for you, I shall continue with one. 2. You have meticulous attention to detail, except that one ski trip where you insisted on skiing using the previous year's piste map, taking us all down a black run that you insisted all the way down was red. 3. Your ability to quickly assess a situation, establishing that the French chef was too inebriated to drive us home as he offered at the beginning of the meal, and decided that I was the safer drink-drive option. 4. Your patience, when faced with me on another holiday insisting that we all swap rooms halfway through the week. 5. Your sense of humour. I still haven't forgiven you for your practical joke over the Reebok deposit over the owner's decorative nuts. See, I can say Reebok. 6. Your tenacity, particularly in search of that elusive lemon in St Ives where Doombar seemed to have got you rather sidetracked. 7. I can't count. Your competitive nature. From bananagrams to what's Trump's? To more recently, virtual Cards Against Humanity and miming paraplegic Santas. 8. Bear hugs. Ben, you definitely give the best bear hugs. Happy birthday, Ben. We hope you have a lovely day. We hope we can celebrate with you soon. Cheers. Happy birthday.
Us are fans of yours, so your 60th we can't ignore.
On so many holidays, we always found a way to invite ourselves along, usually wearing a sarong. It always looks so wrong.
You're always running here and there to avoid your angry neighbour's death stares. Your houses ruin their view. They want to kill you. Heading for a duffy, sleepy little bruffy. So run away, get out of town. It's not the wine that'll get laid down. Hide out in Oz, you won't be seen. Just don't bring COVID-19.
You're in the high risk category now.
We're sorry that we can't be there to feel you hug us just like a bear. See your dimples when you smile, smell the whiskey from a mile, but we're all sad again when we miss our friend called Ben. Like Ben,
Not Len.
like Ben.
Hey Uncle Ben, just wishing you a very happy birthday from all the way down here in Canberra, Australia. Hope you have a great time and you don't drink too much and you get all the presents that you want. Missing you and the fam. Bye-bye.
Hello Ben, it's the Sullivans here on day 450 of lockdown. We're sorry that we're missing your birthday. When we met you, I only ever meet you with a beer, so I can't actually remember meeting you all that often because there's always a lot of hospitality when we meet you. We always have a lovely time, and we were looking forward to having a bit more hospitality. Unfortunately, some ridiculous virus has put pay to that, but we wanted to just wish you a very happy birthday and remember the times when you have fought with the Indians, fought with the Isle of Wight Mafia, taken on the wine trade, and you've conquered all of them. So you've been absolutely incredible, and we wish you all the best for obviously the next 50 years, and look forward to catching up with you sooner than the next 50 years. Have a wonderful birthday, take care, enjoy yourself, and we will see you soon.
Happy
birthday!
As many people have said, you have excelled in so many business areas, including plastic packaging, wine, aerospace, pharmaceuticals, house building in Portugal, and more recently, construction closer to home.
Hi Ben, happy 50th birthday, you old git. I'm not there for ages yet, at least a few months, so just thought I'd message you to say happy birthday. And yeah, I was trying to think of memories of you. All the ones from childhood were sort of much better explained by your brother Paul on your wedding, so without going there, I think we'll leave those, because they were all definitely exposed. But to me, I think if I was going to highlight one memory, it's the end of Manumission, when you were out in Ibiza and me and Mike were there, and the whole Manumission thing just packed up, and we decided we were going to move to Amnesia. And it's that raid when we just literally all got all these vehicles together and drove to the back car park of Privilege and went in to try and, well, steal or grab as much of our possessions as possible out of the nightclub. And yeah, that was this sort of hilarious sort of bonding moment when we were all running in. So that was probably one of my funniest, happiest memories of you and me and Mike. But anyway, have a great time. Enjoy the lockdown. I'm enjoying it here in Ibiza, so it's one of the better places to be locked down. But have a great day. Bye.
Happy birthday, Ben. Welcome to the 50 Club.
Hi Ben, happy birthday. Truly bizarre times to be celebrating, but we really hope you have a good one. So many memories over the last 15, 16 years, from those first days in Jenny's playground when the girls' hair needed a bit of work, but you know, you got there. And then more recently to dinner party when it was just you and us at your house, but the three of you got so drunk on your incredibly fine wine, and we laughed and laughed and laughed. And I know you're always there for that, and also you give the world's biggest hugs, best hugs. Sending love from the four of us. Have a good one, and we really hope we see you soon. Lots of love.
Happy 50th birthday, Ben.
50. Happy birthday, Ben.
Hi Ben, happy birthday. Hope you're having a great day. Sorry we can't be with you to celebrate.
Happy birthday, Ben. We're looking forward to catching up so we can have a proper celebration when we're all allowed back out.
Have a great day and hope to see you soon.
Maybe standing calling.
Hope you're having a good time. And sorry we can't be with you to celebrate.
Looking forward to partying when we're allowed back out. Standing.
Hi, Brit. Can we start it again, please?
Yeah.
Not the whole... Something funny, Dad. What is funny?
I didn't know you had Tourette's. Just shouting random words. No explanation.
Standing.
No
Oh yeah, I don't.
Artichoke.
Comedy club.
Okay.
Come on.
Happy 50th birthday, Ben. For God's sake.
You stole my bit now.
You stole that bit. You just stick with shouting standing.
Sport has always been a passion, with golf, rugby, cricket and horse racing being some of your favourites. Highlights include when you and Jan were at Ascot with Frankie Dettori riding all 7 winners, at Twickenham when England beat New Zealand, and again in Yokohama. And just a few months ago, you scored your first try in years at Saracens.
Recently, you've turned your hand towards fitness and your own health. We've all been inspired by your drive and determination, may it be in beating your 5k parkrun times or consistently attending and encouraging us to join your bootcamp sessions.
3, 2, 1. Happy birthday!
So Ben, a little birdie, might have told us that it was your 50th birthday on the 15th of April. So hope you have a wonderful day, albeit very different from what you were expecting. We just want to say number 15 is actually a number of family and harmony and meant to be at the forefront of innovation and pursues a specific ideal. So I think that's what you did when you joined Total Body Fit Camp.
Yeah, Ben, again, happy 50th birthday. Many congrats. Fitter at 50 than you were, I'm guessing, almost definitely than 40, but maybe even 30. It's been an absolute pleasure training you. You've been an absolute inspiration to so many people, not just down at camp, but also, you know, your testimonial video has been fully out there, and it's, you know, helped a number of other people sort of knock them off the fence to come and join us and achieve those amazing results that you've achieved as well. You're smashing PBs on the park run. You're inspiring your family as well to get involved. Yeah, just want to say many congrats again. It's been an absolute pleasure training you. Have a great day.
Thanks for being part of the team.
Woof.
Undoubtedly, holidays are a highlight of my childhood. You and Mum share a love of travel, adventure and exploration of new places which you passed on to Flo and I.
After much thinking, Ella and I have decided that the main things we have inherited from you are very choppy cheeks, curly, uncontrollable hair, alcoholic tendencies, a love of sport, and a firm belief that our way of doing things is always right.
We admire your drive, persistence and ambitious mind, which is never satisfied and constantly improving and designing new projects. Your sense of humour is impeccable and you can always make me smile.
We feel very fortunate to have been nurtured by you growing up as an inspiration, and we hope to one day make you feel as proud as we feel of you.
We hope this video has shown you the number of people you have impacted and who love you. So on this very special 50th birthday, we would like to raise our glasses and wish you a very happy birthday. We love you, Dad.